Hey, yo, comic book creator confessions here. Kickstarter is a lot of work, but it's really only halfway through the fight. Let's get into this real quick. Anybody that has done a Kickstarter, run a Kickstarter campaign, knows how much work it is, how much effort you got put into it. You feel me? How much promotion you got put into it. You feel me? How much blood, sweat, and tears you got to put into it. But for real, you're only halfway through the fight once you finish the Kickstarter. You feel me? So let's just go through the process. Really, the process starts when you get that idea. The process starts when you get the idea of the comic book and you start fleshing it out, bringing it all to life, and you kind of start writing it. And that is the starter process, the creative part of it. You start writing the comic, you start getting the artist, you start talking to the artist, and start getting the comic finished. Now, also, this depends on your process. Like me, I like to have my books mostly done or finished when I do a Kickstarter. And my reasons for that is because I don't want people waiting that long after the Kickstarter for the book. I want to get the book to them as quickly as possible. So for me, I try to always have my books done before the Kickstarter, or at least close to done. Now, that's not how everybody does it. Some people use the Kickstarter to actually produce the comic. All right. But right now, I'm just talking about the process to finishing a comic book or having it close to finish and then doing the Kickstarter. So once you're done with the book, actually before you're done, but while the book is being created, you should be thinking about the Kickstarter promotion for the Kickstarter, how you want the Kickstarter to look, the rewards that you want for that Kickstarter. Because really, if you know that you're going to use a Kickstarter, you should be thinking about that while you're even creating the comic book, while you're in the process of getting everything done. Once the book is complete, you've made the Kickstarter, you've done the whole Kickstarter story page, you've done all that, got an artwork for the Kickstarter, you got promotions for the Kickstarter, whatever you do for your promotions, and then you run the Kickstarter. And then once it's done, like I said, that's halfway through the battle. The real fight actually begins when the Kickstarter is over. And here's what I mean by that. And I'll use me as an example because I'm making this video. For me, once the Kickstarter is done, that's kind of when you want to hit the ground like running, because now once you have the books, you want to think about further promotion of those books. All right, because sometimes you're not going to reach everybody that you want to reach with the Kickstarter. Not everybody knows about Kickstarter. Not everybody's comfortable with Kickstarter. Maybe some people aren't even online to see that you had a Kickstarter. So after Kickstarter is very important, especially if you want to grow. So one thing that's always my thought, even with the Kickstarter, is I want to get enough money to where I can get a lot of extra books. Like I don't want to just fulfill this Kickstarter. Like if I get 100 people on the Kickstarter and 100 books sell, I don't want to just buy 100 books, ship those books out to those people, and that be it. No, I want extras to take the cons. I want extras to put on my website, to take the vendor events. I want more so I can really promote this after the Kickstarter. Because, like I said, maybe your whole fan base and maybe your audience of people that would want to read your book aren't all online or on Kickstarter to see your Kickstarter. So now you got to go out there and find those people. And how are you going to get them if you ain't even got no product to really show them? So for me, I definitely want to, after Kickstarter, have some physicals on hand. Yes, I still got the digitals that I can sell, and that's always good. I can sell those on my website and things like that. But I need the physicals. I need to go out to these events. I need to touch the people. I need to see the people, face to face. Like that. I know we're in the era of, social media and everything, but those face to face sales matter. Finding your audience outside of the algorithm matters, which is why I say the Kickstarter is really half the battle. Like you're halfway through the journey with the Kickstarter, and you still have a whole nother path to more door to go. You feel me? And what I'm ready to say next is very important. Very important. Is wild that I'm even saying it as an impulsive person. Each step of the way, you kind of got to think about the next step because it sets you up better. Like I said, while I'm creating the book, I'm thinking about the Kickstarter and the promotions for it. You feel me? And while I'm promoting the Kickstarter, I'm thinking about after Kickstarter, how I'm going to get these books into people's hands and stuff like that. You feel me? And then I'm also thinking about further promotion, reaching more of a following that's outside of Kickstarter, outside of the algorithm of social media. And also, this video isn't to discourage anybody. I'm not trying to make y'all scared with how much work that you're going to have to do. But comic book creating is a lot of work. Publishing your own comics is a lot of work. Getting yourself out there is a lot of work. So I just want y'all to know just how this process goes as a creator and from a creator. So if you're going to jump into this, you better put on some Nipsey Hussle because you in for a marathon.